What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We've got some interesting Xbox news today that I thought would be worth going over. We're going to take a look at two articles, one from The Verge and one from IGN, and they both really show how Xbox is still very serious about cloud gaming and where they're going in that direction and wanting just more people to have access to their games. So let's take a look at these two articles, starting with the TV app article from The Verge, and we'll go from there. I think this is pretty interesting, but if you guys have followed me very much here, I'm always a little skeptical of the performance in TV apps in general. In the past, it's never been that great. Even with simple apps like Netflix and whatnot, sometimes the hardware of the TVs is not very good, and you get a lot of stuttering in UI and that type of thing. And with cloud gaming, you don't want any issues, especially with input. Your TV's got to upload and that type of thing, as well as decoding the signal and stuff. So I'm always a little skeptical. But with this piece of news, it is nice to see. Other apps like Stadia and GeForce Now have been doing this type of thing as well. So Microsoft's new Xbox TV app will allow you to stream games without a console later this month. So this is a feature coming really soon, but only right now for Samsung's 2022 smart TVs. So Microsoft is launching its Xbox TV app later this month, allowing owners of Samsung's 2022 smart TVs and monitors to play Xbox games without a console. Now, one interesting thing for me here is the monitors. You guys got to let me know in the comments what monitors I can go look at that are smart monitors and have apps, because all the gaming monitors I've ever bought the past 5 years, none of them have had any smart options ever. I've just never seen it. So I found that interesting. Anyways, let me know what monitors are out there now that are gaming monitors, that are good monitors, that have apps built in. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will be able to access more than 100 games through Samsung's 2022 smart TVs. And of course, you can play Fortnite completely free. If you guys missed that announcement, Fortnite's the first game to be added to Xbox Cloud Gaming that you can play completely for free. You don't need Game Pass Ultimate or anything. You can just have a Microsoft account and you can play as much Fortnite as you want. And they promise that more games are going to be coming as well to that free option. So that's pretty interesting as well. So a lot of people might get access. But how many people right now have 2022 Samsung TVs to take advantage? It's definitely a good place to start. Now, here's another interesting thing from the article. Microsoft and Samsung will support a large number of controllers for the Xbox app, including all of the Xbox controllers, plus the Sony DualSense and many more. So it sounds like they're going to have a very wide array of compatibility for controllers, which is great. They want you to be able to pick up whatever controller you have laying around and use that on your TV so that you don't have that barrier of needing to go buy a controller. Sure, there's going to be that amount of consumers out there that don't have any controllers, or they don't game and they want to check out Xbox Cloud Gaming and they need a controller, but that's going to be a very small amount. Most people, especially that would want to use that app, are already going to have some kind of Bluetooth controller or console or something around. So that's good that they'll have a lot of good support. But DualSense was interesting. So you could pick up your PS5 controller and start gaming your Xbox games. I found that to be pretty cool. All right, so anyways, even though I'm not a big fan of TV apps, it's good to see this start. And of course, they would need to go with newer TVs and up, because like I said, hardware is really needed to be able to run these cloud services well enough. So it's no surprise that the likes of Stadia and GeForce Now, Xbox for their cloud gaming and all, are really starting off with like newer 2021, 2022 TVs and going forward, adding these apps in rather than trying to make them work on all the older hardware. So that gives me some hope that the performance might be pretty good. Next year, when I get a new Samsung TV, that's when I'm due to upgrade mine. I'll be able to test these out. If you guys get any experience with this later in the month, let me know. All right, let's move over. We've got an article here from IGN. This is the one I was personally more excited about, because this is something that a lot of us have been asking for. I know it's going to be very limited to start, but let's get into it a little bit. Xbox Cloud Gaming to let you stream games you own even if they're not in Game Pass. And we've been talking about purchases and games in your library, being able to go to Xbox Cloud Gaming so you can stream them with your Game Pass Ultimate subscription, which would be awesome. But we'll talk about some of the limitations for that here in a minute and why I think it's going to be pretty limited to start. But let's go ahead and take a little bit closer look here. Xbox's gaming streaming services have so far been limited to titles inside the Xbox Game Pass lineup, but that could change later this year. Hopefully by like fall, we'll see this. No release date has been announced as of yet by Xbox, but they do say that Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will soon gain the ability to stream select games they own, even if they're not part of Game Pass. No specific titles have been announced as of yet, nor has Xbox explained if the intent is to make all games playable through streaming as well as disc and download. It appears no such options coming for game owners that are not subscribers to Game Pass Ultimate. which would make sense because you're using the cloud infrastructure that is part of Game Pass Ultimate, and for them to completely offer that for free for you to stream all of your own games, I think would be a bit of a stretch. But I would be happy just with my Game Pass Ultimate subscription for that to start including my purchased games and games already in my library. Speaking in a briefing for media, CVP of Gaming Experiences and Platforms, Ashley McKissick, said gamers are not shy with their feedback, which is awesome. And so one of the things that they've told us is like, hey, we would love to be able to stream games that we own, even if they're not in the Game Pass catalog. And so later this year, if you are an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate member, you will be able to stream from the cloud games you purchase and also games you already own, as long as they're cloud enabled in the catalog. So that tells me as more details come out, it's going to be like an opt-in thing to start with, kind of like GeForce Now is, I do believe, because when a lot of games came out, cloud wasn't really in the planning process for the legalities of things and the digital rights distribution and everything that has to happen with these games for us to be able to access them and play them. Cloud wasn't really in the idea, so you can't just automatically take all these games you own and toss them on cloud. Companies aren't going to be okay with that. You don't have the licensing to do it. No one does. On PC, on Xbox, on PlayStation, that's something that all companies are battling right now with content in the cloud because of the licensing, and we're entering an era that hasn't been entered before, really, and is still fairly new. So I think what will happen is older titles will slowly trickle in that you own, that you'll be able to start playing in the cloud. I think when they first launched this feature, which I'm really excited about, you'll see in your library, depending on how many games you have, some will say cloud enabled. Like you'll start to be able to access them. Companies will start to opt in. I think a lot of companies will go ahead and start opting in for that, but it is going to be limited in the beginning. But as we move forward, though, it's a great start because as new licensing gets written up and as we go forward in gaming for all platforms, including Xbox, they'll be able to start writing in these cloud rights and what needs to be done to be able to stream these games. And hopefully that will mean in the very near future, almost every game you purchase will include that kind of cloud right, to where it's just known that in the future, when you buy an Xbox game or when you're a dev or a publisher putting an Xbox game up, when it sells, it will be for local and cloud, disc, download, PC, console. It's all going to be included in that. But you can't just expect that off the bat because cloud is really just still getting going and these rates weren't written in before. So it'll be interesting to see this going forward. Definitely the feature I'm most excited about for Xbox Cloud Gaming is getting those purchases in the cloud for us so that we can play those on console, PC, and in the cloud as many games as possible. All right, guys, thanks a lot for coming to check out this video. As always, I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.